Alright, ladies and gentlemen, excited to show you another brand new RC car. It's the Kyosho Mad van. Look at how freaking cool that is. Let's open it up, do a speed run, and then see how it drives. So the Mad van is nothing new. This is actually a second generation. The first one was a brush motor. This is brushless. It's supposed to run on 2S. So we'll check it out, see it. I'm not going to do like a whole big unboxing, but we'll open up the box, see what's inside, and just kind of go over some stuff about the van. But like I say, the reason I got it is because it brought back some childhood memories looking at it. My first hobby grade RC car ever was a Tamiya Frog. And then Tamiya came out with what to me was like the most awesome RC in the world ever. I bought this brand new in '87 when they first came out, and I still have it. The Clodbuster. You can tell it's one of the early releases because it has a Chevy bow tie in the grill, and it says Chevrolet on the tailgate. Tamiya got in trouble for using that and not licensing it, so I'm not sure how many were out, but they had to stop and change that. But I've had this. I was just a young kid, delivered papers in the morning before going to school, saved my money. I mean, these things were expensive. I believe it was like $200 for the kit. You're talking in '87 for a kid to save up the money for that, you know. But this is actually what got me back into the hobby. I kept seeing this sitting on the shelf, and I was like, you know, I want to get this thing working again. And you know, I have some videos on it. It went through a lot. Old plastic, things broke. The mechanical speed control, that's what they had back then. We had two servos. One for mechanical speed control, but that broke, so now I have an electronic speed control in here. But this is a fully functioning, working truck. It's not a basher. It's nothing, anything you want to jump and that. I mean, this thing is absolutely heavy. This is almost like X-Max weight, and it's like not quite as big, but it's cool. I got some very rare, hard to find RX 540 VZ Technigold brushed motors. That was like the thing to have back in the 80s. And they were expensive. Saved up my paper route money. Yeah, I might even been working at McDonald's at the time when I bought those. Who knows? But yeah, so when I saw the Mad van, it reminded me of that, and I just wanted something like a modern version of this that I could rip around. Now, I know they do have re-releases, but it's still going to be the same thing as this. It doesn't jump very well, it doesn't turn very well, but that's what makes it so fun and unique. It's a quirky vehicle. So let's go ahead and get the Mad van on the bench and check it out. Wait to see this. Hold on, let's go over a few things here. Look. 60 plus mile per hour top speed. No way. No way. On a 2S lipo. Okay, yeah, we're gonna test that out. Seeing how I don't speak Japanese. Let's go over a few key things here. Maybe. Now, I did watch a couple videos, and some people said that these diffs were dry, no oil, so I am going to open up before we run it and check and make sure. Long type upper lower suspension, oil shocks front and rear. That's good because the Clodbuster are just springs. There's no oil in the shocks whatsoever. High strength centered metal gears in addition to new material. Final you should change the brushless motor, wheelie bar to prevent flipping over. HD aluminum HD center shaft, which was an option on the first one. I also heard a problem with these things is that the rear taillights fall out fairly easily, so we're going to glue those in before we jump. So this is interesting. So okay, so full ball bearing, a brainz 10 speed controller. I don't know what that is. It's speculated that's a hobby wing, so we'll verify that. I'll put the hobby wing controller on here and see if we can't get it to talk to that. Torx 10E brushless motor. So it looks like it says, I can't read that because it's right in the full, but it looks like it says 4,000 kV maybe. Anyhow, let's open this thing up. Oh, let's turn that for you. So yeah, I haven't watched too many videos because I want this all to be unique for me, but I watched a few to get an idea of what's going on. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at the color on that. Oh, wow. I gotta see this thing. I've gotta see it. We gotta get this thing out of here. We gotta free you from your... Okay, we'll go. Man, I got stuff flying everywhere. I'm getting too excited. Oh, wow. Ooh, nothing like peeling that plastic off. Oh. Holy moly, that's a lot of suspension. Oh, that is cool. I never noticed this on the video. Look like a little stick-on wiper blades. That's the color. Ooh, I don't even want to drive this. I don't even want to drive it. Oh, wow. I'm serious. I wonder if I can't get a cheap body to put on here. And oh, that body's gorgeous. It's either that or I might get a second body and that'll be like the shelf body. I don't... Oh, wow. I've never felt that way about any kind of vehicle before. Wow. That is amazing. Alright. Let's check it out. That's weird. The back tire, the front tire's quiet. No, all these are quiet. Except for this one. Alright, so this one might have to get re-glued or something. No, there's a vent hole right there. I don't know why. Okay, so one tire. As I understand, the first version did not have wheelie bars. Now, I've said it before, I don't like these body clips, but at least ARMA gives you tethers, so you don't lose them. I think tethers should be mandatory. Oh yeah, I was looking at these mirrors. So I wonder what would happen if we flip this thing. Yeah, okay. So look at that. So if you roll it over, it's at an angle that it shouldn't hit. Okay. I will say, at least the Tamiya's, the body clips had a bend in the front, so it was a little easier to get at. Oh, look at that. You can actually take the mirrors off. There's clips. Huh. Now, there are provisions in here to put lights. I'm not going to do that. But why did these backlights pop out so easy? That's what I don't get. How do people lose these things? I don't know. So I'll just take a little super glue. Put a little dab in there. Try to make sure we retain these lights. I don't want to lose them. It's just weird, man. I don't even understand how these things pop out, but all right, moving right along. So now this is a problem here. We have a Dean's connector. I don't have any Dean's batteries. So we will be putting a, and this is probably overkill, an IC5 connector on here, but that's the only 2S LiPo I have, and it's for the ProMoto, the Losi ProMoto bike. And for some reason that has an IC5 connector. So I did just want to show you that this does work. But on the front of this thing it says table 1, you can't use that. It's back here, table 2. And I matched it up with here in the instruction manual, but this only goes 1 through 5. So we have running mode, drag brake, which we don't need, low voltage cutoff, punch mode, which I think this one only goes up to 4 or 5, and then max brake force. So we don't have any of the other options, but you can use this. See, it stops at 5. So let me see, 5 was max brake force. I thought I had changed that. Oh, okay. Max brake force, so we want 2, and then we hit OK. All right, now we got it. So number 1 is forward reverse with brake. Number 2, drag brake. Number 1 is 0. 3, 3.2 volts for cell. Low voltage cutoff. Number 4 is 3, so punch level 3. So it only goes up to 4. And then 5, which is the one I just set, which is max brake. So I got it set at 50. We'll give that a shot. I don't think 25% is enough. But see, that's it. You just want to, but you can use a Hobbywing program card to program this. You just don't, which makes sense, because even with the Spectrum programmer, the small ESC that's like in my Infraction or the Vendetta doesn't have all the options either. Or no. Yeah, the Vendetta, once you get up to like the 6S, it had more options, but the 3S one didn't. There you go. Good to know. Got my battery soldered in. Now, let's go take it for a rip. I'm going to try to do this better and hold this where you can see it. So we're going to start the speed run. All right, let's go take it out. I'm telling you, I'm scared. I don't think this thing's going to be stable at 50, let alone trying to get to 60, but we'll see what it's got. I just really don't want to ruin this body. Whoa. Ain't no way that's 60. That must be kilometers per hour. Damn it, man. Hit stop. I don't care what app I use with this thing. It doesn't freaking work. Damn, this is aggravating. All right, turn the app off and then turn it back. 34 miles an hour. That makes more sense. It's got to be, that speed's got to be in kilometers. 34. Yeah, I noticed this thing, as soon as you start giving it throttle, it just wants to start turning. Like it wants to make a right-hand turn on its own. We'll give it one more. I'm just so afraid of flipping this thing. I do got the look at this, I can't even start. There it goes. All right, let's see, one more. All right, let's see. Stop. Read. Sorry, I got to try to remember to get this in the camera more often. There we go. Finally got. I had to turn it off, the app, and then I come back and then it'll let me do it. Just weird. But what's also weird is like my records aren't showing up. Okay, there it is. So 34. All right, 34 miles an hour. I'm happy with that, because I tell you what, it's absolutely scary driving this thing at that speed. So for some reason when you power it on, it just wants to make a right-hand turn. I have the steering set and I could drive it, it goes down the road totally fine, but when you power on, it just wants to go right for some reason. And these wheels, they are they're horribly balanced, or I should say unbalanced. They shake quite a bit. Look at that. Probably most of this front wheel looks real bad. Ah, yeah, look at that thing. Might have to try to balance that or something, but welcome to the backyard course. Now this is exactly what, or maybe not exactly, but this is what I really wanted this for, because this course here is good for something like my Rustler, or this is something small. It's a little, I don't have enough run-up area here. Even with this garage here, it's just a little bit, there's not enough space here to really enjoy like the Sledge or the X-Max larger vehicles. So this thing here, we're gonna run it through the backyard course. Now, I did check the owner's manual and I don't see anything that what this NP adjust means. They also don't say anything about this switch. So I don't know if that would work the optional light kit. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Or the lights are on all the time. But I did hot glue. I thought about super glue, but then I was like, wait a minute, I got a hot glue gun, which I think would work better. So I hot glued the tail lights in. Fingers crossed we don't lose any. So let's see what kind of fun we can have with steering is so fast and twitchy on this thing. Okay, let's do it again. So right away I can tell you, it takes, this is kind of like the Cloudbuster. You need like a lot of room to turn. Let me see if I don't have the steering trim. Oh no, I don't want steering trim. I wanted, oh, dual rates turn way down. That's why. That's why it doesn't turn. I turned it down for the speed run. Ah! Oh, there we go. Now it... My fault. Holy, I cannot believe this is 2S. This does not feel like 2S power. Oh man, that is awesome. That thing just jumps so flat. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this thing is fun. And I tell you, it's stable too. You would really think with the big tires and all, or as high as this thing sits, that, ooh, and maybe it wouldn't be so stable, but it is. I will say on the dual rate, I did adjust it initially because the servo was throwing too hard to one side. So I did tune it back just a little bit to make sure it didn't do that. Oh yeah, this thing is a blast. I guess with it being on 2S, you don't have to worry about the motor overheating, because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Oh man, this thing rips. Tell you what, I made the adjustment on the brakes to like 50%, and I think that's good because look, you can just hit the brakes and then slide like that. Then get it into a turn, then hit the brake. Oh man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to continue having fun with this. We'll go inside and I'll wrap up what I like and don't like about the Kyosho Mad van. This is a great RC. I'm in love with the van. The Mad van is mad. This truly is a great RC for ripping up and down the street in front of your house or in the backyard. This is a great RC to have. Like I mentioned earlier, things like the X-Max, the Sledge, maybe a Creighton Armor, the Creighton 8S, where larger vehicles, there's not enough space to really appreciate the speeds and there's really not enough space to, like, you know, turn and just enjoy what those vehicles are capable of. So you kind of have to buy an RC based on your needs. But if you want something for bashing around your yard, You can probably even take this to a skate park, a BMX park, do some jumps. My BMX park here is paved. I would like to take it there and show you some of the jumps, but this is mine. I paid for it, and I don't want to damage the body, so sorry. Now, when I first took it out of the box, I did go up and down the street a few times to make sure, you know, I just want like to break in the gears, run it a few times, just make sure everything's working. And that's also like I set the trim on the steering servo, make sure everything's right. So I was going kind of fast, and I turned really quick, and it flipped. And luckily, I don't see a mark on it, but I don't think it hit the body. I think it kind of high-sided, and it just rolled in the air and landed back on its tires. So, yeah, fortunate on that one. But yeah, I don't want to damage the bodies. But on the street and maybe grass, it does wheelie phenomenally. I'm sorry I didn't bring more of that to you. Like I said, I just don't want to damage this thing. Might not be the best for doing a review, but yeah, I just don't want to damage the body. It looks that good. So it is a fun vehicle. I highly recommend it. You know, for the price point too, you're getting a brushed motor. It's a fun vehicle. The handling, it handles surprisingly well. Even on the street, I took some turns and it just leaned. Even out here in the dirt, it did great. So now let me go over some things that I dislike, and then I'll go over some things that I like about this vehicle. Now, all manufacturers except for Traxxas. Traxxas is the only one I know that has the clipless body mount system. Except for I noticed some or Amazon knockoffs, but I don't really, not a big fan of the body clips. And I do like that they give you these little plastic spacers to put on here to save the paint, but that's also a pain. I just wish they were already adhered to the paint. Like you could just stick them on there and not have to fuss with losing them. But then that's my only complaint on the body. They do give you a little wing to go on the back, but I don't have scissors that curve for cutting Lexan, and I also don't have one of those little hole punches, so I'm probably not going to put that on there. Now, as far as the chassis goes, let me just warn you this with the battery strap. I almost made this mistake. There's a little buckle right here that the Velcro goes through. From the factory, when I got it out, this buckle was all the way here against the chassis. That puts it up against the drive shaft when a battery is in here. I almost ran it that way. It is extremely tight. This is a very narrow chassis, so be cautious as to where this buckle is when you put a battery in there. Now, what I don't like is how tight this is. Like, this is just goofy. Having the wires sitting up, I don't like how close they are to the wheel. I don't like that they're not secure, they're not in there some way. You know, and also same thing here, the receiver, they claim this thing's waterproof. I don't know how it is. The receiver's here out in the open. It's double stick sideways, and then the extra wire is just kind of wound up, zip tied, and shoved in here against the ESC. Probably not the best for ESC cooling. I just don't like sloppy wiring. But other than that, I don't have a problem with anything else here. Like I mentioned earlier, handles really well. There's a lot of suspension travel in here. Doing jumps, it jumps really well. Now, I didn't go bashing and trying to take it 10 feet in the air. Like I said, I don't want to damage it. It's not really like my style to do that. I'm not like a hardcore basher. But, I will say, too, I did open up the diffs and they were dry, at least the ring gear, the ring and pinion in here were dry on both differentials. Now, I did see another video, a guy actually opened up the actual differential where you have your spur gears in there, the little I forget what you call them, but the little gears in there, they're like triangular shaped, little like spur gears or something. And there was a blob of oil just shoved into one corner, and it actually wasn't rotating through the diff. Now, these have like 2 gears in there. He did a 4-gear upgrade, so might be something else to look into. But it does appear that Kyosho has some quality control issues as far as applying grease in these gearboxes. So just something to take note of, that if you buy one, you might want to open these things up, make sure that they are greased, or just be prepared to replace them when it melts down. But other than that, yeah, I love it. It is a great truck, RC. I mean, it looks fantastic. The speed too. I mean, I'm blown away on the 2S. How fast this thing is. For a 2S, this thing whips. Oh, that reminds me. Let's look at the box. Let's look at the box here real quick. Yep, that's what I didn't notice. 60 kilometers an hour. I hate when they do that. They're right there, 60 plus. Yeah, I didn't think this thing was going to go 60 miles an hour. That would be, that's moving. But I'm happy with the speed and everything. And again, I was watching some of the video earlier, and again, for some reason, I cannot get my phone to match up with the GoPro that I'm wearing on my head. So for now on, in future videos, I'm going to end up taking that GoPro off and just filming the screen, because that's obviously I don't know what I'm doing with that. Before I go, I'll just touch on the remote real quick. Ergonomically, I don't know, it just kind of hurt my hand. Like, my hand just felt weird when I got done running it. And then the way this thing is kicked over, I don't like that, because sometimes I want to be able to just use my thumb, be able to hit the gas and steer, especially when I'm filming these things. I want to be able to film and do this, and I can't reach it the way this thing is. Now, I do like that it does have a dual rate for the steering, which, one, if you turn the wheels and you're steering and your servo locks out and you're straining it because you keep on turning, that makes it really easy just to dial it back so your servo's not straining going lock to lock. And then also when you're doing speed runs, it's nice just to cut that back, because you don't need full turn if you're going just fast in a straight line. So it makes it easier when it's not as aggressive in the turning to make little corrections and not have it veer off course, especially when it's kind of little wobbly at speeds like this thing is. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the other remote's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite in the world. So there you have it, man. I hope you enjoyed this look into the Mad van. It's a beautiful RC. It's fun, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun running this thing in the backyard, doing the jumps and just running and ripping around, getting the dog to chase it. Got a little corgi that loves chasing these things, so. Alright, so I mentioned in an earlier video that I'll be having giveaways from this. I have 3 giveaways. So I've already done a giveaway for a drone. The giveaway, the link will be down below, will be for the little wave runner. I'll throw a picture up here. So I don't have the original box anymore, so I will package it up and ship it to you, but you get a wave runner, 2 batteries, a charger, and a remote. I'm not including batteries for the remote because everything I have is rechargeable. It is used. It was sent to me to review. I used it for the review and I haven't used it. So if that interests you, check out the links down below. It's absolutely free of charge to enter and win you a little jet ski RC. Alright everyone, appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.